So this is a, let's make it as a the random number. You can generate the random number. Okay. Suppose, for example, so these are all the names, right? These are all the names. So this is a random. So let's make it as an array of strings. Array of strings. Here in these curly braces, I just pasted these things. Okay. So if you want to pick any name randomly, so how can you do? So just create a random number first. Creating a random is a one. Let's take a one random number variable as an integer. And the formula here is, so to generate the random number, so you have a random class is there. Okay, new. So if you want to declare the class, initialize the class, so what is the keyword? New is a keyword. Okay, new random bracket open close dot next of. So you can specify the maximum value. So if you specify the 100, okay, 100. So what it will do? So it will give the 100 to so 0 to 100, any random number. So if I specify 200, this will give the up to, that is the maximum number. So if I specify 50 comma 100, so it will give the random number between the 50 and 100. Got it? Now ours is like a UiPath exports, that is a array dot count -1. Okay, -1. So or 0 -1 0 2 0 comma 0 2, so -1, or you can remove the 0, no problem. You can remove the 0, and this is a totally a number and -1 it will give. So if it's a total count is a 7 minus 1 6, that is the last item. Okay, because array starts with a 0, right? So message box will run like a u for exports and random number. Okay, so which let's run. Let's run. Machine came. Okay. So everyone is ready, right? So so we will go with some question and answers. Okay. So I will just run this program. So whose name come, then they have to answer in the comments, or you can okay, just unmute yourself and speak it. Okay. So only that person. Okay. The question is, so the question is like a, so what is the use of annotations? Annotations. So who will come in this random? They have to answer. Chetan, what is the use of annotations?
Annotations is used to just for naming of the activity.
Naming of the activity. So
Activities.
is it best practice to write each and every activity, add the annotations to each and every activity? Is it the best
No,
practice?
no,
Okay. So then, so where do we have to? So okay, annotations is a mandatory.
no. It is
Is it
not mandatory.
okay? So why we have to use annotations? So what is the purpose?
In order to know the developer what are the steps he has designed.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Chetan.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next question. So just run the program or program. The question is, what is the difference between the log message and write line? What is the difference between the log message and write line? Jani. Okay.
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
the difference between
right,
log message and write line? Yeah.
yeah. Right line will write the line on the output panel, but
Hmm.
log message has different levels. Actually, error, warning, something like that. So we can uh, select the level as well in the log message.
Okay, that is the one difference. Then
Mm,
any more differences between these two? That is the one difference. That's perfect. So log message, you said log message has levels and message. Okay, so you can decide the levels like
yeah,
you write error or warning or information trace, this and all. That is a facility log message has. Write line has, it will just write the text into the output panel. So both
output.
will write the text into the output panel, but the major difference is log message not only writing the text into the output panel, it will write into the orchestrator also. Okay.
Oh yeah,
In orchestrator, you can see the log messages, not the write lines. Okay, not the text which you use in the write line. So, okay, that is a second difference. Uh, so those two are, I think, third one also. So what about others? So what is the third one? So we discussed. Do you have any?
Log message will write an orchestration and write line will write an
That is the
output.
second one. Yeah, second one. Okay, okay. So three things. One is so log message and write line both will write into the output panel. That is the one. Okay. The second one is the log message has a levels, but write line does not have a levels. That is the second difference. And third difference is so what you said is the log message you can see in the orchestrator and our write line we can't see in the orchestrator. Good, good. Okay. Let us go little bit back and little bit back. So what is the difference between sequence and flowchart? So who has to answer? Chetan. Okay. What is the difference between sequence and flowchart?
Sudeep.
Yeah.
Sequence, it is a step-by-step process. We are
Okay.
executing we are developing the program.
Okay.
Flowchart, in the sense, it's like a transaction process. Some complex will be there. In that, we are going to execute we are developing the program.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So that is the difference. But so you can tell a few more words also. So suppose for example, so we can tell like a so if you have a sequential steps so involved into the requirement. Okay. So step by step. This after this activity, this is a work. After this is a work like that. Then we are
Yeah,
preferring the sequence. And a flow chart is a like a, if you have a lot of decision making kind of involves in the decision making things involved in the what is that
flowchart.
requirement. So then you have to use the flowchart. And one more thing, so you can use the sequence within the flowchart and flowchart within the sequence. That is the vice versa. You can use within that. Okay. So
Yeah,
so no, okay. So you can elaborate. So while you are okay, I mean in interview we can elaborate a bit more. Okay, that's good.
yeah,
Good.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. So today we will see the some questions. These kind of concepts. Is it fine for you, right? All. So I want to check. So what is the? I mean, is it fine for you all? So if you go like this for the
Yes, sir.
remaining part, okay. Thanks, thanks. Erikondalu. Yeah. The question is, so what is the difference between the find element and element exist? This is a question. Erikondalu. Hello.
Uh,
Yeah, very good.
Hello.
So, yeah, what is the difference between the find element and element exist?
Find element. What can I say? For element exist means it will check element exist or not. Something like how can I say? Uh,
No problem. So if you not able to say, just say. So because it is like a okay, a warm up kind of thing. So we can. So others also we just listen and so get the answer and keep in mind. Okay. So if you don't know, also no problem. But
Actually,
yeah.
it will check the whether element exists or not, and it will return the Boolean value.
Okay.
In case of find element, it returns the UI element.
Okay. Okay. Only that, or you want to add some more?
One more thing is the element exist does not return any exception. Suppose it will not exist. In case of find element, it will return the exception. It will not find.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So the same thing. So what you said is correct. Okay. So okay. So okay. Achan, do you want to try? Do you want to try? Yeah, you can try. Okay. So
No, no, he
whatever
has completed it.
Edcon, yeah, told that, so that is perfect. Okay. So again, so it's like a the recalling our topics, because it's like a so while I am doing it, I mean taking interviews, some people or not okay. So that mean not telling us at least the basic questions also they are not able to answer. That's why I'm that mean okay, this one. Okay, so some people they tell find element and element exists both are used to identify the element. So see, some people see, it's a common question in interviews. It's a common question. They will ask what is the difference between the find element and the element exists, and they will ask like a which situation we have to use the find element and which scenario we have to use the element exists. Can you tell some scenarios? This is a question they will ask. Okay. You have to go with the scenario also. Okay, last time we saw, right? So that is the scenario. Sometimes the pop-up will come. So sometimes pop-up will not come. So if the pop-up will come, so we have to click on that language or some buttons. So in that case, we have to use the element exists. So if the element exists, based on the element existence or element not exists, we have to decide the flow. Then we have to use the element exists, because the element exists will return the true or false values. Okay. So this will not wait. This will just check that the element is existed. It will return the true. Otherwise, it will return the false. Okay, and based on that our flow will execute. Okay, our decisions based on that decision. So if the element exists, this is a flow. If the not exists, this is a flow. The find element, so if this is like a if you click on the login button, so going to the home page will take time. Okay, so this is depending on the bandwidth or the internet. So in that cases you can use the find element. So what it will wait, it will wait up to the find element is appear on the screen. And so as Edgar said, like a same thing. So find element will throw a exception if element is not appear on the screen. It will throw exception, but the element exists will throw the it won't throw the exception. It will return the value as a false. But the find element will throw the exception. It will wait up to the timeout, and it will throw the exception of the timeout exception in the find element. Okay. So you should not have a confusion on this part. Find element and element exists. The perfect icon. Okay. Let's go next part. The question is, so Kiran. Okay. Kiran. So, which activity we have to use to check or uncheck in the checkbox or radio buttons? So, if you want to check the radio button in the website, so which activity you have to use, Kiran?
Click activity.
Question is again repeating. So, the checkbox, you know, right? Checkboxes and radio buttons. radio button in HTML or website. So, okay, suppose for example, we have a radio button here itself. Here itself, we have a in UI demo. So you have a admin password. So, okay. So here you have a radio buttons and check boxes also. This is a checkbox. You can uncheck check. Okay. So you can check multiple things. This is a radio checkbox. Okay. The square button. This is a checkbox. You can check multiple things. But radio button is you can check only one out of those group. Okay. That is a radio button. If you want to handle this kind of checkbox and radio buttons, which activity we have to use in the activities panel? Kiran?
As I know, I use click activity.
Click activity. The problem with the click activity is, so if you can use a click activity that will work, but the problem with the click activity is, suppose for example, if you want, the requirement is like that. So the graphical label, if you want to, so the requirement is like that. So you have to uncheck this one, or check this one. Okay. So let's go with the check this one. Okay. So you have to check this one. Check this one. Okay. If you use a click activity, so if it's already checked, it will just click on that. So what is the actual it done? It is unchecked actually, because click activity does not know whether it is a checked or not. It will just simply blindly go and check this one. Okay. Okay. So what is the actual requirement? We have to check the graphical label. Okay, so if it is not checked, the click activity is fine. Okay, if it's already checked, so if you use the click activity, it will uncheck, right? But the requirement fails, right? The actual, so what we have to do is a failed. So if you already uncheck, that is the problem with the click activity. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so check activity. There is an activity called check activity is used to check the activities. So suppose, for example, see here in the activities panel, you have a check is a check is activity. Okay, just drag and drop the check activity. You can see the property in the properties in the check activity. Okay, suppose this is a check activity, right? So just indicate on screen. So I'm just indicating this button. So let's check this one. Whether it will check or not. Okay, so run. Okay, so this is giving the what happened. It is already checked. Okay, uncheck this one and run. Okay. Uncheck this one. So now it is unchecked. So let us see. Run. See, it is checking, right? So if you uncheck, it is checking. So if you already, it is already checked. So it is already checked. So what will happen if you run again? See, it is already checked. So in the stage, so I'm just running. What will happen? See, it won't touch. See, it won't touch. It went to the next part. Got it? So our requirement is a check, but so if you use the click activity, the problem with the click activity is that one. So in the properties of the check activity, you have action check, uncheck. If you are, so toggle is like a, so if it is uncheck, check. If it is a check, uncheck. So I mean toggle. So if it is uncheck, so if you want to suppose run this one, it's already checked. Okay, so it will uncheck. It is unchecked, right? Got it? So it's already checked. If it's already unchecked, so if you run again, what will happen? It won't touch because it's already unchecked. Our action is unchecked, right? It won't touch. But the click activity, blindly it will click. Got it? The difference?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that is a question. So okay, next one is okay, so any let's run the execution. Vamshi. Vamshi, Now the question is for Omshi. The question is, so we have a drop-down list. Okay, we have a drop-down list. We want to get all the values from the drop-down list and loop each and every item from that drop-down list. How can we do? So we have a drop-down list. First of all, how can
by
we
using
get all
the
yeah.
using the select item.
Select item is the question is here. It's not like a selecting the item. Okay, so I want all the data. So all the details. So all the data from so to the string. So I want to get all the items from this drop-down list and loop each and every item from the drop-down list, and again select the same items from the to the drop-down list. So first of all, you have to get all the items into the string and loop each and every item from that list and select. So what you said is a select item is to select the item from the drop-down list. Okay, how can you retrieve all the items from the drop-down list? So do you understand the question, Vamshi, or you want me to repeat?
Once, please.
Yeah. So the thing is, so I want to get all the how can we get all the items from the drop list? All the items. So we're not selecting the item, we're getting the items from the drop list. Suppose you have a countries list. So I want to get all the country names from the drop list, the hidden data, basically. This is a hidden data, right? This is a hidden data. So appearing is only this is a agent is visible, but hidden data you want to get. How can you how can we retrieve that hidden data? Using the GetFullText. Okay, if you use a GetFullText, that's what we covered here, right? So what is the where is the scrapping methods? Scrapping methods. This is the scrapping methods. So get full text. The full text will get the so extract the hidden data also. Hidden text. If you use get full text, it will give the entire data. So entire data in the sense, so it will get the all the data. Get full text. Okay. So it's like a so how can you so this is a one interview question. So people ask like a so how can you retrieve all the data from the drop-down list? The drop-down list has a lot of items, so you want to retrieve all the items from the drop-down list. So I'm selecting here, so you can use a get full text. And also some people they will ask like a so what is the difference between the get text and get full text? Okay, the get text and get full text. So here just moving a bit box. So here you can get the all data. So see run. So get text will get the only the visible data agent, but the get full text will give the entire data. See, it is giving the entire data, right? So how can we loop each and every item from this thing? So Vamshi or Archana. So how can we loop each and every item from this list? This is a string. This is a simple string. String has a lot of items, but it is placed in the line by line. How can we loop, Archana? So step by step.
It's for each.
Yeah, for each in the sense for each. So what is the clear explanations? For each, that's fine. But yeah, so this is a single string, right? How can you then separate? Can you tell some the syntax of that? Okay, for each.
Can I try?
Yeah. Anyone can.
Environment dot next line we can use.
Yeah, environment dot new line, not next
New
line.
line.
Environment
To char array will have to connect.
to char array because the split method will requires the char array for each.
String name dot String name dot split environment dot new line to get array.
This is a string name dot split of environment dot as it is separated by line. That's why we are using the environment dot new line dot to carry array. So it will give the item means the single item. Suppose if you use select item, so select item and indicate the screen. So each and every indicate here, okay, in the text, same text box. Instead of this, I'm just using the item. Got it? And we have to change the type of the type argument. So for the for each. Now just run. Now what doing? So the question is here. The question what I asked is this one. So how can we get the all the items and loop each and every item and select the each and every item from the drop list? See, we got the all the items, hidden items, and it is now see the drop list. It is selecting one by one, right? See, it is selecting the one by one. Can you observe the drop list? So because we are in the loop, so let me okay, give some message box so that you will get more clarity. Message box. We just use a message box and display that item. Okay, item. Run it and see here. See, it is getting the entire data. So now, so what is the activity we have to use to get all entire data, entire items from the drop list? Get full text. So what is the difference between the get full text and get text? Get text will retrieve the only the text which is visible, and get full text will retrieve the all the invisible hidden text also. Okay. So if you use a get text in the same place, it will give the selected text, not the hidden text. Now just see one by one it is going. Agent, it will select the agent first, and it will select the next one. It is going line by line, right? Line by line. Got it? So at the end, it is giving the empty. So I don't want to select the empty. Okay, so understand? Uh, so do you understand the issue here? So first, if the item is available, that's no problem. So it will select directly. See, item is available, agent is available, it will select. This is available, it will select. So airline is available, it will select. Shipper is available, it will select. Okay, this one is also available, it will select, but this is not available. This is empty, right? This is empty. We have to avoid this type of empty items. So how can we do? So if I just click on OK,
Yeah, string split options that remove empty place something.
yeah, perfectly. Okay, so perfect. So in the split method, there is a second parameter called string split options. You can select the options. In that option, there is one option called remove empty entries. Something is there. So you can use that second method, second property of that split method. Then you can avoid this kind of issues in the real time. So this is your issue. See, now we got a error. We got error here. We got error. So what is it saying? So it is unable to identify the empty item from that dropper list. Got it? So how can we avoid this type of errors? So just introduce another parameter in the for each loop called in the split method. There is a second parameter called strings split option dot remove empty entries. Okay. It will remove the empty entries. Run and see. So what will happen? Agent, the next one, the airlines, the next shipper, the next part. Okay, so this went to the next item. Okay, next part actually. So it went out of the for each. Got it? Now this is a thing. That is the purpose of the split method. Got it? So next questions maybe the all covered, right? So let me. Okay. So maybe see, we use the last one, right? Let me remove this one. So Johnny, so what are all the scrapping methods available? So what are all the scrapping methods available, Johnny?
Screen scraping and data script,
So
data scraping and screen.
yeah, so that's good. Okay, so we have two types of scrapping methods. So how many types of methods are there in the screen scrapping? So in the screen scrapping, there is a methods. Okay, so screen scrapping methods. So how many types of what are all they?
Yeah, full text native and
OCR.
OCR. Yeah.
OCR. So this is also very common interview questions. So they will ask this table you have to so keep in mind. Okay. So which out of this full text native OCR, which is a perfect suited for the
Full full
Citrix
text.
environment? Citrix environment. Okay. So I want to automate
Uh,
the Citrix environment, which is a perfect method.
OCR because
OCR.
it will works on the image.
Yeah, works on the image. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is also so you have to keep this native and so they will ask like I want to automate the background process. So which is that? Full text is a background process, right? Full
Yeah.
text is a background process. Okay, so next one's yeah, Kiran. So if you have a table, so HTML table in the web, so to get the whole data into the Excel, so what is the flow? So what we have to use? Do we have a
Get
HTML data?
data scraping.
Data scraping. Perfect. Data scraping is used to extract not only the pattern-based data and tabular format data also. Okay, tabular format data also. Okay, now mm, so maybe Archana is not coming, so because maybe the number is at the end, right? So we put the -1. So we will ask some questions. Okay, one question to Archana. Okay, so because it is at the end, right? Okay, so yeah, one question to Archana, so, and then we will close this. I think all are covered, right? Edikondalu, Vamshi, Kiran, Jani, and Chetan. Chetan you covered, right? Okay. Yeah, we will ask few questions like this, so that we will get some. Uh, so, what do you mean by selector, Archana?
Um, I would say selector is in I mean is used to uniquely identify a particular web element or I mean any kind of element which is present.
Okay, not only web. Okay, desktop, anything.
Not
Okay,
only
any
web, yeah.
UI element, UI element. Okay. Yeah. So, can we use the variables within the selector?
Yes, we can use variables within the
So,
selector.
can we use the selector as a variable? The
Yes.
Okay. So what do you mean by anchor base? Anchor base. So why we have to use the anchor base? What is exactly this is? So in which
Uh,
situation we have to use the anchor base?
when I would say one situation is when when there is an UI element which is similar to each other and there is no particular way to identify that particular it can be a click activity on it or a checkbox. So I would say we will go with the anchor base, wherein we identify in the anchor base, there are two things. One is like we can either use element access or find element, and relatively you can click or select the other element.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Johnny. So so can you tell some Jani? It is a questions to Jani. So can you tell Jani some properties, regular used properties in the selector, regularly using
Uh,
property.
AA name, parent ID, inner text, web control, tag, title. This. Okay.
Yeah, so that is perfect. But yeah, some expectation is like a you have to tell very quickly because so as you are using the daily basis, the selector properties on UI Explorer, so you have to that mean say very fast. A name, ID, IDX, so table row, table column, title, a parent ID. Okay, these things and all. So you can tell. Okay, like that. That is good, Jan. And
Yeah.
okay, so another question to another person. So can we use the IDX property? Is it best practice to use the IDX property? 1 second. Let me go one more person. So is it best practice to get the IDX Vamshi? If it is not best practice, why? Why you should not use? If it is used, yeah, that is fine. Can we use the IDX property? Is it a good practice by UiPath? Vamshi? Hello, Vamshi?
Hello?
Yeah, Vamshi. So is it good practice to use the IDX property?
I
IDX, there is an index IDX property is there. Do you know that? In the selectors. Vamshi? So if you don't know, just tell no, or at least ping in the chat window. Hello, your voice is not. We're not getting your voice, so Amshi. I'm not getting your voice, Amshi. Let's go to the yeah. So some things. No, so the value so is getting changed every time. So yeah, so the value will not change every time. Okay, so Chetan is saying in the chat window, no, the value get changed every time. Okay, the value will not change every time. So whenever the developer introduce a new activity, something remove that some proper some elements, then the value will change. Okay, so no, it is not a best practice, and the thing is this value will not change every time. Okay, and why we should not use that index? So because tomorrow if any new item will introduce, so then so this will change. Okay, this will select some more element randomly. Okay, so IDX is not best practice. Okay, IDX, taking the IDX is not a best practice. Best practice you can take, but it's not best practice. Okay. That's it. Thank you. So we'll go so this type of things next. And today's exercise is okay. So what is exercise?